In 1998, when I got into the University of Lagos, I left the corporate world to come and have a stint with the postgraduate experience. Then there we had this set of human beings. That lady, as far as I was concerned then, all about her was Mama Ngozi. So when an issue arose, they were coming to me to coach them. And at any point in time, even, tracing my home at Anthony Village, Odolam is straight there. How they found it, I never got to know. But the enthusiasm and the drive with which they actually pursued me, coached them on this, coached them that, the most popular among them was the lady called Mama Ngozi. Then something happened and I was looking for this Mama Ngozi and I was asking one colleague or describing her. This my colleague now mentioned one other name. I said, no, the name you are mentioning is Yoruba name. The person I have in mind is an Igbo lady because she's popularly called Mama Ngozi.
Mama Ngozi.
We communicated. So we kept on juggling until somebody now came up to make us understand that the Mama Ngozi I was talking about was the same person, maybe mentioned as a Yoruba lady. I said, if she's a Yoruba lady, why is she popular with that name, Mama Ngozi? Everyone knows her as Mama Ngozi. And eventually they located her and she came. She happened to be the same thing, the same person. I had to confront her with that. I say, you really set me on a kind of a merry-go-round spark for you. Because I was looking for an Igbo lady only for these people to make me understand that the person I've been relating with in the past 6 months is a Yoruba lady and I never got to know. She said, sir, it's a very long story. I said, what's a long story? It has to do with NYSC.
You see?
That when she was to the East, this is somebody that had never left the confines of Lagos, talk less of having anything to do with the East. That there was a declaration of fasting and praying, right? Fasting and prayers in their homes, casting and binding, that whatever spirit that is sending her to the East, God will help them to break it. Pastors were engaged. The father was somebody who was well connected. So he had cause to go to NYSC that the daughter cannot cross Ore, talk less of going to the East. The thing happened for almost 2 weeks. She was almost 1 week late to NYSC. I just want to use this to encapsulate what you're talking about and then we
Exactly. Exactly.
So
and it buttresses
so much interrogation that their pastor even now told the father that this is the hand of God. There is nothing they can do about it. Before the child loses that opportunity, she should just go. And that was how she found herself going to Enugu State precisely. That they got to Enugu very late, past 9 in the night. Everyone, disappeared. She was left alone in the park until one man came back. As I went in December, he said yes. Said that she was looking for a vehicle, going to, is it somewhere after Abuja or store? The man said, you can't get any vehicle. What happens is that you follow me to my house. He said, well, she knew she was already dead. So it's better she should die in somebody's house than to die in the field. Life experience. And masters this experience in University of Lagos. So she followed the man. The man, when they got to their home, they had to vacate, himself and the wife vacated their matrimonial home, made her very comfortable, everything intact. The following day, the man took cars personally to NYSC camp, reported that that lady was his daughter. The camp commander took note of that. To cut the story short, he was treated as the daughter of a very prominent Enugu man, and everyone gave her the respect she deserved until she eventually found herself in her primary area of assignment. Yes. But the greater part of it was that this man did not only follow her to that place to introduce her to the community, that she did not spend one cover of her NYSC allowances. Because members of the community where she now got accommodations, they were rotating it among themselves. Somebody took responsibility for breakfast, another for lunch, another for dinner. And that was how everything got odd. Finally, it was in this process when they met on this Thursday program they used to, do during NYSC weekdays.
Yes.
Now ran into a Bini colleague who was also narrating his experience that he never wanted to have anything to do with the East. But this was his experience. She also narrated her own. That was how they got to meet each other as husband and wife. That was how their first who adopted her as the daughter. And subsequently, two of the other children were also bearing Igbo names. It's a mark of integration. It's a mark of solidarity. It's a mark of tolerance. This is a mark of bonding, which this nation lacks today, and which we need in every bit of sense of it for it to be integrated. Use that word DNA. Nigeria doesn't have it. And we have to go back at a point in the history of America. They were talking about going back to their old faith. Nigerians had that vision and mission of reconciliation, reconstruction, and rehabilitation immediately after the Civil War.